pulse of the VI. Listen close and you will see why. The information will set you free. Stand together, never divide. Pulse VI.
Good afternoon, you're here with Pulse VI at Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. We have Binta back with us.
Yay! The gang's back together.
I'm happy to be back. I'm excited.
What else happened? We have a couple minutes. What else happened?
This March? Can we talk about this March?
We only given the March 2 minutes.
Oh my God!
I'm serious, guys. I'm serious.
We give the match as much thought as
I
they
guess
thought
we can
about
do
it.
it. We could do it like you go, boom,
Okay,
cut it
boom,
off. You
cut it
first,
out.
go.
Claudia, you could go first.
Well,
you know what? Fine, I'll just cut you off. Let me tell you about the match.
I love it.
My whole thing is, let's see, how do I do this without sounding ignorant or arrogant? My whole thing is that we shouldn't have waited so long to have a march. And I felt as if the people in charge, I can't say our senators or I can't say who, the people who were in charge. I just felt as if they made our people believe that this was the first time we've heard about this and what's not. This is something that's been coming down the lines for years.
Right.
And we wait until the day or the month to say, hey,
the minute.
Let's put our hands up and fold our fists down and say Black Power.
Right.
Like we waited at the last minute when this is something that they knew for years coming down the line. Why weren't we making an effort to change things way back then and not wait till this year? That's my only concern. That was my only problem. Yay, we fought for something. Yay, we came together. We had thousands of people out there. We closed school. We closed daycares. I went to my daycare this morning and they told me, hey, we're going to close at 3 o'clock today. So I had to finish work an hour early. Hoorah.
Pick up the...
Yeah.
Well, my tidbit. I am in support of solidarity, of course. I, too, share your sentiments. I just feel like we should have done more before. I'm tired of us being reactive.
Instead of
we need to be proactive. This has been coming. Let's galvanize and put who needs to be in place, and let's start planning and strategizing. Let's come up with, a plan. Let's have a plan. But, I'm still waiting on the plan that came out of Armor. So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying this to say, the bill was ascended by the Queen, so now it's legislation. So I think our efforts now need to be on how to move forward. I don't know if moving forward is publicly announcing we want a divorce or independence. I think, and we call it war. I know if I'm going to war, I'm having a squad.
Right.
I'm having an army, somebody. I don't see us have any of that. The police belongs to the Queen.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, when we're going to war, we need to come prepared. That's my take on it. On to you, Binta.
On to you, Binta.
Well, you guys know how I try not to say too much because of my job per se. I don't, I've always said that because of where I work and because of the persons I'm around. I'm kind of in the midst, and then being in London when all this was happening was insane because I got to be a part. It was an experience, and I'm really grateful for it. I got to be a part of the meetings that were happening. I got to be a part of a lot of things. So I think it's why I'm a little hesitant. I was a little hesitant with the march. I even got my boss, for example, Binta, what do you think? I'm like, no, she was for, she was for it, and I was against it. And it's not that I was against that persons were marching, or they have a right to. There's nothing wrong with that. My issue was that a lot of people had no idea what they were doing it for. Right. And yes, the powers that be that were in charge should have informed them more, but as a person, I feel like it is your right to go and look at the it's your right to actually go and look up the stuff yourself,
right,
and form just grasp, understand
at least a little bit of it.
A little bit of it. Don't go out there and just say, okay, I'm marching for this. I saw the video, the commentary, some of the stuff. I watched a couple people's lives. You laughing, you making it look like it's a Juve thing. No, it's not. You doing this. Do you know why? Do you know where it stemmed from?
Right.
Do you know how long time? It is not the government's fault. Yes, the government has probably, they should have done certain things. No one is saying that they're perfect. Of course not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like as a person, you owe it to yourself to make an informed decision, you need to go actually, okay, this don't sound right. If it don't sound right to you, go back and do your research. You have all the tools and all the everything available to you. Don't just go off of, okay, they say this is what it is, the UK did this, blah 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 blah, boom.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
I feel how you feel.
so it's. I mean, I think we're all on the same page. I do think that we as a BVI have been quiet, and we kind of take the back pedal and kind of take we're at the bottom of the shoe. We're always at the bottom of the shoe. That's how I personally feel. Even with people like, I'm not a fan of Cayman. Like, that's just me personally. People are like, we should do Cayman. No.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, we have to do what we.
I feel like we need to, as I don't think independence is a thing right now. Obviously, we all know that.
Yeah.
But I think we need to work. I don't know. We work with ourselves before we decide to work with other people in other countries, and that's why it took up some time.
No, you can go ahead. We got a couple minutes.
We have a couple minutes, and I just wanted to shout out to the first female Prime Minister of Barbados.
I saw
Maya Motley, yeah.
I saw Rihanna posted that today, so I saw that,
I think their election was quite historical. I think that her party won 13.
Yeah, there's no, I don't think there's
clean sweep.
The opposition has zero.
Wow.
So
that's interesting, yeah.
You know, that's going to be interesting because, I mean, to me, any healthy society needs an opposition.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't have a one-sided.
So it's going to be interesting how it goes, huh? And
I'm
all for it.
But one of the things that my boss said is, you know, there might be an opposition within the party because at some point, you know, someone's going to not agree or, you know.
Of course.
So we'll wait and see how it pans out. But go, girl.
Anyway, guys, this is Pulse VI. Who do we have in the building today?
Oh my God, I'm excited. We have a surprise guest. We did not publicize that he's coming on. We have Captain Bala on next, and he's just going to talk with us about safety ahead of Poker Run. We want everyone to go out and have a good time tomorrow, but we want to make sure that we do it safe.
Safe and do it the right way.
Stay locked.
Stay locked.
Call someone, tell them he's coming on next.
This is Pulse VI, Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. Please, holler back, because we'll be back.
Yes.
Pulse VI.
Good afternoon. You're here with Pulse VI, Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. We have Mr. Captain Bala. He is the director of the acting director of the shipping registry.
Yes, you got it right.
I got it right.
Yes.
And of course, you're here with the Swing Show. So, Mr. Captain Bala, how are you doing today?
I'm exceedingly well. Thank you for inviting me. This looks like a very cool crowd I'm sitting with.
We want you to feel comfortable.
That's
so
all.
Yes. So we wanted you to come on ahead of Poker Run because we know everyone's excited and all ready to go out on the water, but we want to make sure they're ready. Yeah. So give us some tidbits that persons need to have on their boat, what they need to do, what they may need to look for when they're out on the water. Just share with our guest, you know, in terms of being safe tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a very important show that we are having tomorrow. It's one of the big events out at the sea. And I'm really pleased that this is happening so quickly and it has not stopped this year. The thing is that everybody knows in their own minds what the maritime safety is about, what's this one. It's just that they can't make the effort to follow it. And that's exactly what is the problem. Okay, what I'm going to talk about is very basic stuff. And people will say, hey, I know that. There's nothing new.
Yeah.
But do you follow that?
Right.
Now, that's the question.
Right.
Yeah. So before you... This is general, this one, that before you take your boat out, make sure that all its equipment are in place. You have a radio by which you can contact people. You have the safety equipment for yourself and whoever is going to be on the boat. You have a life jacket. You have something to jump onto. If somebody falls overboard, you know how to pick them up.
Okay.
Everybody knows where you are going and what your route will be. So these are the things that the captain has to have in his hands before he leaves, that he has the safety equipment, he has the firefighting equipment, he has the knowledge of the route, and he has the safety of the people in his mind. Wow. Now, the other thing which is very important in this is that most of them fail to keep a lookout. That means somebody looking at outside just to see that there is nobody in the water in front of you and they are going to drive away onto the people that are in the water. So it's very important that there should be a lookout. And also you have to follow what are called as the rules of the road. You can't drive on the wrong side of the road.
Okay.
Similarly, there are rules for the ships and the boats that are driving on the sea, they have to follow the rules of the road.
Okay, so and like what happens, those are very good points, and I hope persons are listening, because what you made a good point stating that, you know, persons know what to do, but you just don't. And, you know, it's probably not like driving. Like driving, you know, we got super cop out there looking around every corner for us. But when you're out on the water, you're so free, you know, you're like, you know, this is a big space, you know, so persons, you know, so I hope persons are listening and, you know, pay attention to those points. But what happened, like, if a boat going to distress while, you know, the poker run is going on? Like, what should the captain do? What should his guests on board do? You know?
Like, the one thing to do is first to stay calm, and the captain is supposed to assess what is happening around him. He is the head of the boat, and he knows all about the safety. So he must be having all his emergency procedures in mind, whether it is a fire, whether it is somebody jumped overboard. So he has to decide what he has to do next. But most important thing is he has to inform the people ashore that something wrong is going on, so that they can inform organizations like the Visor and make sure that they will be ready there to rescue people. But for the captain, the safety of the people on board his boat is paramount. And if he has to leave the boat, then he must make that decision.
Right.
Okay.
And as Virgin Islands Shipping Registry, do you guys, for example, do like let's say like a seminar beforehand with all the registered boaters, registered boaters of Poker Run to basically go over, hey, because I think that's an idea to have them all come in and do like a day before you actually go on the boat, and before you're actually able to go on the boats and do a race for Poker Run or whatever. You follow these rules and you sign off and say, okay, you know, like a waiver form essentially.
Exactly. I think it's an excellent idea, and I would really support this, because we have not been doing anything like this. And if the organizers want us, then we can send people across. If they are showing up a day before, we can send our people across and ask them to give some kind of a talk or to demonstrate safety checks, etc. We can really do that. I think it's a very good idea.
I think that's something to go forth and do.
Yeah, because I think Poker Run actually starts, it's a weekend of activities, so it starts today. I know they had scheduled activities for the day today.
Really?
They had lunch at Foxy's, and I mean, it's a whole schedule of stuff. So that would be something good for them to add to their schedule, because I mean, safety is paramount.
Absolutely,
you know, we want to have fun, but we want everyone to be safe. There's a lot of boats out there. I think, like last year it was close to 300, right?
I think this year is 300.
Wow.
So I mean, that's
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think this year is 300 boats.
So that's a lot of boat on the waters. You know, traversing the same path, because they're one behind the other, following in that path. So I mean, you know, we want to make sure that everyone is safe. Do you have any suggestions, like for persons who at this last minute listening to you and they're like, oh my God, I'm not there, what can I do?
Well,
I mean, I know they have to find a store that's open on Tortola at 3:23 on a Saturday to get stuff, but I mean,
I think most of the marinas will have some kind of safety. They could
so check into a marina.
And find out, because there will be something open, and today there will be something open for sure.
Great.
Poker Run is a serious thing. So in my, it's a. I mean, I understand the question you were asking him, but it's like, you have to be ready like days in advance if you have a boat.
You know if you're serious about it, which a lot of them are.
A lot of them are. You have to have days in advance. So I know guys who have helmets. I know guys who have life jackets.
You need the glasses. Those are things you need.
And what's not.
You know?
But then there's so many that don't use life jackets. There's so many that don't use helmets.
Especially the younger ones who are more
smaller
smaller boats.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of small boats out there, to the small little speedboat that those guys build.
Right.
Yeah. So
I don't like them. I don't.
The important thing I would tell everybody is to the people who use the waters stay away from the course of these boats, because they will not. Most of them may not be properly looking outside. They might not spot you. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Stay away from there. And also, please keep a lookout for people around you and the
Okay.
boats around you. Just
Okay.
don't speed away.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand poker run is not even about the speed.
No, it's about
it's
the
the-
cards, right?
It's about the cards.
The hand.
It's the
It's
game.
about
It's,
the
yeah.
cards.
it's like
Yeah.
it's
It's about the
legit
cards.
poker.
and most importantly, it is the responsibility of the skipper
Okay.
for everything. So if he gets into an accident, then he answers for it. If he runs over somebody, then he answers for it.
right.
Okay.
So the skipper has to be very, very careful
Okay.
because there are laws that can that if enforced can
Right.
lead them to trouble.
Okay.
Right.
And we
Can
don't
lead
want
to
that
their
to happen
arrest.
to anyone.
Yeah.
And I know you have for the boaters itself, but let's say we have a couple boats going out, like the ferries. Is there any rules for the persons on the ferries? Because I know they're probably going to be packed with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
It's just-
See, domestically, all these ferries can carry as many passengers as they want in the domestic waters.
Okay.
And most of them will be in sheltered waters.
Right.
Right.
So they already have the permissions.
Yeah.
So anybody who is doing something which they are not certified for, then they are supposed to come to us because that is illegal.
Okay.
So, but if they are certified for carrying passengers,
Go.
say 200 passengers, 250 passengers, so be it, because we have already checked their safeties for that.
Gotcha.
Okay, great.
Right.
And what about all the boats that's coming in? Because I know a lot come from the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Rico, and stuff like that. Do they have to like pay a fee to the shipping registry or nothing? They just could come in and
Yeah.
attend the poker run and
Yeah.
be a
That's
part.
pretty
And
much, yeah.
Okay.
Can
We
they
are
moor
pretty
for
much.
like 30 days?
Sorry,
Is it more? They can moor for 30 days. Is that
I'm
still-
not 100% sure because this is done by the customs.
Okay.
True.
I have a few messages which I want to give to the maritime community.
Okay.
Okay, these, like I said before, it doesn't require much thought.
Right.
Everybody knows it's common sense, but I just want to put it out there so that people are reminded of it.
Yeah.
And the first thing is, please get your boats insured.
Important.
A lot of boats are not
That's
insured.
key. I think a lot of them learned that after Irma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you want to put your car on the road, on the street, you are going to get your car insured.
Right.
But why not a boat that costs
Yeah.
$200,000?
And people don't.
Yes.
That's
yes.
people don't.
Okay,
I know.
So these are the simple things, okay?
Simple
But we
things.
have got so many boats now, and the government is trying to deal with it. It's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
The second thing is, which we recently put out. So all the buoys, the buoys leading into the port, they have been washed away. Now it's going to cost a lot of money to put them all back in. But we're finding that people are anchoring anywhere so that you can't enter the port. All the boats are haphazardly anchored.
Right.
This is like going and parking in a parking lot,
Right.
whatever, however way you like,
With no
and
lines.
blocking. Yeah,
Right.
Totally disrespect the water, huh?
yeah. Okay, so this is again something that please don't do.
Right.
And if you have a wrecked boat and you are dealing with it, then let us know. Because very soon there is going to be a law coming. We are going to, just like they carry out all the derelict vehicles
On the
street, this is going to be all mopped up and taken away.
Right. Salvage all the boats and stuff.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
a
So if
very
it is yours,
expensive.
yeah, it's expensive
Very,
task.
very expensive task.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it is your boat out there and you have plans for it, please let us know because
Okay.
they're all going to be removed.
Okay.
Do you have a date for
Do you
this?
have a date for this or time?
It's
Not yet?
soon, very soon.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not going to be like, hey, I'm moving all the boats
So pay
tomorrow.
We'll give
attention.
notice.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
give notice.
Pay attention, guys. That's important.
Yeah, this is a very important this one.
And how
you
can-
have? Oh, sorry, go
Oh,
on.
no, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's your property. You have to take care
Right,
of it,
right.
right? Why should the government have to
Right,
take
I
care of
agree
your
completely.
property? Okay, so this is something that I plead with the public to take care of them.
Awesome.
And how can you, my last thing is how, I know Virgin Islands, I work very closely with Captain Bala with Virgin Islands. I think it's my baby, Virgin Islands Shipping Registry. I do a lot with Virgin Islands Shipping Registry. Can you tell persons how they can stay up to date and stay, basically to know what's going on with updates and stuff that they would need to know, boaters, for example, because you guys do inform them, but how can they stay?
Okay, one of the things that we are doing is we've got an excellent GIS team, and they send out all the information
Yeah.
that are required. Then we go on shows like this, Pulse, and then we go on other radio shows, and we give them information. Then we are sending out safety alerts, merchant shipping notices, etc.
Okay, great.
So it's all in the newspapers. Actually, we have a lot of presence in the newspapers and the media nowadays.
Okay.
In the past couple of years. So we are as soon as any fresh information comes into hand, which we think the public should know, we immediately pass it on. We pass it on. It's all in the newspaper.
And it's on your website also?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you could plug your website now.
Yeah. Our website is the same as the government website. You will find the shipping as soon as your shipping registry there.
There you go, guys.
Well, Captain Bala, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming through the Pulse VI.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You being here.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yes, and very informative. And you know, as we say again, we want everyone to have a great time tomorrow. Party boats, sailing boats, all the boats. Just be safe on the water and pay attention to what's going on around you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Stay safe, guys.
Thank you so much, Captain Bala.
All right, guys, it's 3:30 p.m. in the British Virgin Islands. This is Pulse VI.
Yes, and BBI check. Up next, we have
Gloria Fahie.
Gloria Fahie.
I
of the
like
Cancer
that.
Society.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're going to be back. Caribbean Superstation 9.9 FM, Pulse VI.
Pulse VI.
We're
Pulse
back.
VI.
We're back, guys.
Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. We're here with Gloria Fahie. How are you?
I am excellent.
We're happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
Not bad. I'm doing very well.
Great.
Yeah, this is my second engagement for the day, so I have one more after this, and
Re-
then I'll be fine.
You're busy, busy bee.
Superstar.
Yes.
Superstar.
What was your first engagement, if
Well,
you mind us
actually,
asking?
my first engagement was Maranatha Adventist Church up to the east there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to do the mission story, and I put a personal spin on it, and they enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, congrats. You're putting yourself out there in the community.
Always.
Always, yes. That's,
Always.
and that's something I do see on your social media.
Yes, yes.
Breezy
Being
lady.
a, what you call it, being a public speaker and public speaking.
Oh, I
Yes.
hate public speaking with a passion.
You do it so well.
But I have to do
Effortlessly,
it.
yeah.
I have to do it.
Yeah, with what you do, yeah.
Yeah, so just dive in. Tell us a little bit about, you know, what president of the society means in terms of what you do, how you reach out to people, the assistance you offer.
Wow, that is fully loaded.
I know, and you only have 2 minutes.
As president of the BVI Cancer Society, we do a lot out there. We raise funds. We do educational materials. We try to go into schools as much as possible because we are finding a lot of young people are being diagnosed with cancers, and that is not good.
Right.
You know. What was the other question?
Well, you know, I'm not going to even let you go on any further. You just struck a note with me. You say a lot of young people.
Yes.
What do you think that it's a result of what's happening in our atmosphere?
Well, don't get me started. But to be speaking quite frankly, we as a nation, and I've been saying it over and over, I don't think anyone is listening to me. We have to change. We have to go back to the roots of everything. We have to go back and plant our own foods because the foods are killing us.
Right.
We have to sort our garbage. It doesn't make sense to tell us to get on board when the government is not enforcing laws.
Right.
Look at that smoke down in West End.
That's still burning.
It's killing us down in West End. And, you know, don't be surprised, don't be shocked. If 5 years down the line or even less, a lot of people will be diagnosed with cancer and a lot of maybe respiratory illnesses because I myself had to be nebulized. So right now I'm like a prisoner in my house because when I hit my door, I close my door, I go in my bedroom and I'm in there with my nebulizer, not my nebulizer, the air purifier and
yes.
the dehumidifier in order to sleep properly because the first night that it happened, I couldn't sleep.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, I know persons were asking people to relocate to another location on the island.
I read that, yeah.
If they had the opportunity to, because the smoke was so thick.
So
And
I
how,
think
how
it's
far are you from it?
I live in Towers and it comes right directly over the hill.
Okay.
So it's affecting everyone and affecting persons all the way in St. Thomas Island.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is one way we need to, you know, put a stamp down and say enough is enough. So the environment is a big problem here. The foods are another big problem. We are
We import a
importing
lot.
so much food. I know when I was growing up, I could have stretched out my hand and get corn, okra, this, that. No more. We buying foods we don't even know what they use, what kind of insecticide or pesticide or whatever the side is. We don't know what is being used
Right.
with these foods. So that's why I'm saying here that the BVI government needs to make farming a very, very important industry here in the Virgin Islands because the food outside. I don't know if you ever notice that some of the products would say not to be exported only.
Right.
Right.
So you know something is definitely wrong when a label is saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And we have to hold the supermarkets responsible
Yeah.
because
Right.
they know better too.
Yeah, they do.
And all they're looking out most of the time for is a big profit.
Right.
Business.
But it's killing us.
Right, because the food and it does says exported only island because those foods are completely separated from the ones
That the
are
US
kept and the US are kept. And the reason that it says export only is because of the preservatives that they have on the fruits, so
Yeah.
that it can last
Last to
that
come
shipment
longer.
come down here and then ripe down here.
Yeah.
So they have a very specific time,
Yeah.
and you know,
And we're
on the
eating
fruit,
all of that
and
in
we're
our
eating all of
bodies.
that in
Yes.
our
And you can
bodies.
always tell because remember sometimes the tags have I guess 4 numbers. If it has 4 numbers, that's GM.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have that number or something like that,
Okay.
the numbers always tell you if it's genetically
Yeah.
modified or.
Right.
And it's ridiculous that you have to look at those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, and you think about the way the world is. I mean, you know, a large percentage of things that we consume
I import.
Yeah.
are genetically
They are.
Modified.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, yeah,
That's a valid point, though.
very valid,
I'm with you on that
very
one, yeah.
valid. So, and share with the people. I mean, there's so many different type of cancers in Brinton. I was talking about that before we got on air about the different types, and I know that there's probably a month for just about every type. There's a different color ribbon for different types. In terms of numbers in the BVI, what would you say is the most prevalent in our area?
The most prevalent cancer right now in the BVI, and I think it's worldwide, is breast
Breast
cancer.
cancer, yeah.
And that is why so much focus is being,
Yeah.
geared towards breast cancer.
Yeah.
And it's not like some people think because, I'm the president of BVI Cancer Society. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, so I am only
Yeah.
pushing breast cancer.
Right, no.
But
But
that
we see that in the world.
yeah, that is not entirely true. The second one would be prostate cancer for the guys. And you guys out there, you need to pay attention to your bodies.
Right.
You really do. And don't mind, some people
Yeah.
tease and go on about it. It's a taboo subject.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want this person, you know what I mean, pushing
Yeah.
their hands up
Yeah.
my bum and look,
It's your health.
Look, you could push your hand up my bum as many times as you want if it's going to save my life.
That's true.
That's how I think about it. And we need to stop with all these hang-ups. And we need just to
That's true.
pay attention to our bodies.
And people think
Important.
their health is taboo. Health is not taboo.
Health
People
is
don't
not
deal
Especially
with
for
it,
men, it's always hard to get the men to go to the doctor.
Yeah,
Very
You know what I
hard.
mean?
No, I mean it is harder for men, but for me, I feel like as black people as a whole, it's
We don't
always
like to
more,
go-
we don't like
Yeah.
to go
We
to
don't
the
like to go to the doctor.
until we're sick and dying. It's like we don't like to go to the doctor,
True.
and it's,
True.
I don't
True.
understand why. So it's like, and then it's worse for men. You're black and you're a man
Right.
Right.
Like we said, do not wait
until it's
until you pay attention to your body while
Yeah.
it whispers.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to your body while
It's
it
yellow.
screams.
Right.
So we really have to pay attention to our bodies as much as possible. I remember when I was diagnosed, my little granddaughter is who were paying attention to my breast.
Oh, wow.
She said, "Mommy, your breast is bleeding."
Oh,
and then
wow.
I said, "Oh yeah, it has a discharge."
Wow.
And some of the symptoms I didn't know. It's so funny that one day, how people are bug you on the street, different organization, and somebody say, Joint Cancer Society, and I did it automatically without,
Yeah.
let me get rid of them and get them the $25. That's what I did, but I did not realize that, later down in life, it was a good decision. although I didn't pay attention to it. Because when I found out I had cancer and I went to the organization, I didn't feel the support. I didn't feel the support from the organization. And when I, got through all my, my little trials and whatever, and I said to myself, something, Lord, when I come back here to the British Virgin Islands, I want to make a difference. I want to help persons. I want to help persons feel accepted and supported. You know what I mean? So that is what I said I was going to do, and I'm happy to say I'm still doing it all now.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, because that's really it's a really touchy it's always a really touchy subject, and it's something I think it's exceptional that you use your story to try to reach out to people, to try to help people and put yourself out there, because I know it's probably not easy having to go back there all the time,
Because 8 years ago, not too many persons were speaking about it. And I remember I was in New York, and I used to listen to the radio station by computer to find out what was going on, and I heard Gadite's talking about breast cancer. So I called him. I said, Gadite, I'm in New York, and I just took off my breast. He did not believe me. He didn't believe me. He said, hold on, Gloria, hold on. I'm going to put you on the radio. So I went on the radio and I talked about my experience. And lo and behold, some person did not appreciate it.
Wow.
The thing that
we still have that taboo,
the thing, you should keep it to yourself. But I don't believe that. I believe in sharing. I believe in being positive and being proactive, because it helped. Because I spoke out, I help a lot of persons. And to me, more persons are speaking about it now. And to me, you heal when you speak about it. When you keep it together,
suffering in silence.
You're suffering in silence.
Yeah.
You're probably making it worse too.
Because all of that is coming
because
down
you're
on you.
keeping all that feeling towards yourself.
And the great thing is sharing, you putting yourself out there, then other people are like, okay, I'm not alone.
Right, and that forces other people to come forward and talk about their story. And one of the things that I wanted to say is that I'm quite sure that a lot of families in the territory are probably touched, with someone that they know or someone that's in the family.
Exactly.
And when we come back, one of the things that I want us to talk about is the support that you're receiving from the community as well as from the government.
Okay.
So you're here with Pulse VI. It's 3:45 p.m. You're here with Gloria Fahie of the Cancer Society, Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Right back, guys.
Okay.
Pulse VI.
Hey, you're here with Pulse VI on the Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. You're here with Gloria Fahie and the Pulse VI family. Gloria Fahie is from the BVI Cancer Society.
Yes. And she's doing an awesome job educating the public.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask this question. I'm not sure if you know. How many people do you know have cancer right now in the BVI? Or do you guys have a number?
No, we do not. As a matter of fact, recently we have been keeping numbers. We have decided to keep our personal little registry. But I have to say kudos to the government. The Ministry of Health is now contemplating doing a national cancer registry, and that is very important because it will tell you the types of cancers. It will tell you the clusters or the areas where they are.
Which is important.
Because you'll see what's more prominent.
It will see what, it's needed. It's needed in that area.
Definitely. We should be able to keep our own numbers.
Yes.
So that, and sometimes those things you could see hereditary. Certain areas, certain family trees and stuff like that. What type of cancer is, So,
and sorry, it might be a really dumb question, but is cancer mostly can you say it's mostly hereditary? Have you seen a lot of hereditary type?
No.
No?
No.
It's just random.
Because it's in the food, it's in the air.
It's in everything. It's and something, we think this water is so good.
We don't know where it comes from.
But it's actually
so
no
bad.
good.
Processed.
It's so bad for us.
Yeah, it's processed.
We need to go back to our old time system and boil that water and drink that water, because this water is really from the septic. The water, that they purify.
And then it's in this plastic bottle, which doesn't make it any better.
That can't take any
with
heat.
the heat
Right.
and stuff like that. So we think we are safe with this water. We're actually not safe at all.
Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
All right.
I know.
And the BVA lacks so much agriculture as
Yes.
we are. Our
Yes.
agriculture is the pits.
Dead.
To be honest, we have
Agreed.
no agriculture, and
Yeah.
no matter how many times we've heard it throughout the years, plant your own food, do this,
Yeah.
do that.
But there's no
Nobody
support.
is doing
No.
anything.
It's hard. It's
Nobody
no
is doing
support.
anything.
We had a greenhouse up to the east sitting down for years. I think Alma took care of that now.
Yeah.
And they said there's
So-
the right way. I
something,
guess.
they're doing something with it now, apparently.
Yeah, I think John Klein
He was tasked
just
with, yeah.
got a lease for 4 acres of land to restructure it and
Yeah.
get it going.
So hopefully that goes well, and at least we
and
have a start there.
And we have quite a few farms. I mean, the farmer market was open today, so we do have quite
Which
a
is
few
excellent.
farmers, local
Yes.
farmers that are trying. But I think the problem is that the support,
Right.
water,
Yeah.
very important. And, keeping up with all that stuff. So I think we need the help from the government with that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Also,
Yeah.
too, because a lot of the fruits that certain persons are selling aren't even from here.
No,
Yeah.
No.
they're not at
Fruits that-
all. They're from
fruits that they're
Dominica.
bringing from
They're from
St.
St.
Martin,
Kitts,
St.
all
Kitts.
over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
We just got to do better.
we need
We are
our
lazy as a
own.
community.
Very
But we can't.
We have been
can't.
spoiled.
But do you know, when I was growing up, we actually exported food to St. Thomas.
Yes.
We provided food to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
So what happened?
Animals. My grandfathers used to sell animal goats
Yes.
and pigs, and my grandmother used to have potatoes and panniers and all those things. So I mean, we've evolved. We're educated, and that's beneath us. So
Which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm glad you just said educated, because that's interesting. Because in Gambia, for example, Gambia versus here, we have a lot of farming and agriculture in Gambia. You have farms, people with the animals and whatever. And here, and it's more illiterate there than literate.
Right.
Whereas
Right.
here you have more literate than illiterate.
Yeah.
So they're more, high tech. No, we're gonna do
Yeah.
this. Whereas people are still farming and rearing sheep and doing all that type of stuff. So
and the right way.
yeah, so I
And the
wonder
right
if that,
Right. Well, I think we have this way of still looking at certain professions.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
farmers, we think as the people who can't get another job, not that they went to school and studied it. And, we just think that, they can't get another job. They're lazy. They don't want
Right.
to do anything. So, I mean, it's our mindset that has to change.
I agree.
I think
Yeah.
we need a change and I think we need more professions in the farming industry, the fishing industry.
fishing, yeah.
Because look how this world is changing. We don't know whether we're going up, down, or across right now.
That's true.
And we're going to need those farmers.
Right, right.
Well,
Well, as we get close to the end, I know that you have some events that's going to be coming up that you want to share with the public in terms of funding, right? How can the public help with funding the Cancer Society? Because when someone comes to you with cancer, I would say on an average, how much dollars do you think you put into that situation? I mean, I know all is varied and different, but just give us like a wrong figure.
The figure is varied. It varies. It depends on what the person is actually seeking.
Right.
Because a person could be seeking like help assistance for airfare. It could be lab fees. It could
Okay.
be chemotherapy, radiation, or doctor fees. So
Okay.
it depends. But what I could safely tell you is that most time we pay out probably maybe 50-something thousand a year. So we pay out a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of monies we pay out.
So then we need the public's help in
Right.
terms of keeping this going.
And I'm sure you could use more.
We do that. I used to take pictures with person, I giving them checks and stuff, but some persons want to be remain
Of
private.
course, of
So I had to stop. So we really don't publish it.
Right.
But we do a lot of financial support.
Okay.
We do a lot of financial support. We have been unable to get like a support group.
I was just going to ask if you have that.
I've tried, but we haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
that is on our priority on our priority list. But I do it one-on-one. They could call me anytime. I let them call me anytime. Midnight they call me if they
Right.
have to, because persons need people to
Right.
talk to, because sometimes, like initially when I found out, I think it was like weeks I couldn't sleep.
Right. And
That's how
for some persons, depression takes in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so so it's best to keep your lines open, and if they call, no matter what time, talk to them.
You're always giving up yourself.
Yeah, and
Wow.
cancer has become so prevalent in the British Virgin Islands. On Friday, two person, and I found out about two person, and today I went to church and somebody told me about another person.
Right.
So it's a lot. It's increasing,
Okay.
and
Wow.
that's why we have to take chronic diseases, non-communicable chronic disease is very important because it's killing us.
Okay.
For such a small society, it's something that we need to
Right.
be more vocal about and be more help. We need to help each other because this affects us all. It
Yes.
affects one person in a small town. It
It's all
affects
of us.
everybody.
Yes.
So what are the events that you have coming
We
up?
actually have a bingo coming up tonight.
Okay.
wow.
Where
It's at Captain Bala's.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So
And
this is
then
the bingo I've been hearing about.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. See, he knows
I
about
know about it.
This is the third one.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we have been trying like different ways to come up with fundraisers because people are becoming very slow on the pockets. And they're blaming a hurricane Irma, and I find that our poor hurricane Irma is being blamed for a lot of things here in the British Virgin Islands. But we are going to try many things as possible.
Right.
And the bingo is not bad. It's not a real big fundraiser when it comes to fun, but it's fun. We go there and have fun.
love
And
bingo.
most of the
I do
You
too.
do?
I never win though.
But I try to tell people don't do it to win.
Right.
Do it to support
To
the
support, well,
BVI
of course.
Cancer
Right, right.
Society
Yes.
because this money goes right back into the community.
Right. And what
And we
else?
have an awesome board.
Okay.
We have an awesome board.
You want to shout them out really quick, or
Yes,
are they
I
too
would like
shy?
to shout out to my members, the members of the British Virgin Islands Cancer Society, wherever you are. You're too many to mention because there are 11 of you all. So shout out to y'all.
Awesome, awesome. And what's your next event? I know you have an event next weekend also.
We have a candlelight vigil. I think it's National Cancer Survivors Month.
Okay.
And we want to recognize the survivors, the fighters, the supporters. We want to recognize everyone and just light up that candle for those persons.
Okay.
Because it's very important to recognize them
Yes.
as well.
Where is it
So
going to
what
be?
time?
It's going to be at the Queen Elizabeth Park at 5 sharp.
Okay.
That's next
Because,
Saturday.
That's next Saturday,
That's
June
next Saturday
2nd.
because,
Yes,
we
June
also
2nd.
want to go there and support Brent Hoyt's concert.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm telling everybody, look, make your stuff short so we
Yes.
can go there too.
Right. So it starts at 5.
Yes.
And tonight's event start at what time?
It starts 6 o'clock sharp. Please, if you're listening, 6 o'clock.
Sharp.
Okay.
Not 6:30.
No.
And if persons want to reach out to the Cancer Society, how can they get connected? I know you have a Facebook page.
We
So
have a Facebook page. Our telephone number is 499-0022.
okay, taking donations.
499.
Yeah.
0022.
Okay. So that's how they could reach you, and then on your Facebook page they could also
Yes.
hit you up with a
Yes.
message if you want to get her details. So you could write that check, hit her up on her Facebook page.
Yeah, and people don't be stingy with the check.
The government also gives us a subvention,
Okay.
but it's little, it's
Right.
small,
With
right?
what you have to do.
We would like the government to, if Mr. Skelton is out there listening, we would like the government to increase that subvention because cancer is it's growing,
Right.
and we are all voluntary persons on this organization.
Right.
We need an office. We need a full-time office, and we need a full-time person because a lot of persons end up on my job.
Okay.
And it's causing a small problem, a big
Right.
problem now. We
Right.
need an
Right.
office to carry out the work, of Cancer Society.
Well, then, as coming from Pulse VA, I mean, and I'm saying this representing the whole Pulse VA family, we will try to make sure that we get that message out as the year goes
Okay.
by.
Yes,
that this needs to
definitely.
happen.
And please
'Cause it's- we can't wait for the last minute.
Get us other message out too. We need some men.
Okay.
All right,
Have you
man.
ever seen me tugging tents and chairs?
All
That's
right.
why I do. We need some men.
Men,
We
we
need
need
you.
men.
We
We need
need
the help
men
for the
Yes,
events.
Yes.
All righty.
Okay, here's what to do.
Alrighty.
Whenever you're having an event, you could
Let
tag
us
the
know,
Pulse, tag the
Tag
Pulse
us
VA
and
on
we'll
Facebook.
find
All right.
some.
We'll find some young men for you.
Thank
Yes,
you very much.
Definitely.
Well,
We're here
we'd
to help.
commend you for your humanitarian and
Wholeheartedly.
community services that you've
Yes.
done so far. Because obviously, we see you here, and we're here. We see you talking, and we know that it comes from the heart.
Yes.
So we commend you for that.
Thank you very
'Cause
much.
You don't
Thank you for
have to
coming.
do it, but you do it. So that's
Right.
really amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
You could have
Much
just say, "Okay, I'm cured now. See you later."
Yeah.
Right.
But no, you keep
No,
on
I'm
fighting a
gonna
good
be
fight.
in it until the end.
Good.
Because I have a mission, I have an aim. I want to inspire people.
Good.
Absolutely.
You know, people come here on this art and they do nothing.
Right.
They take part in nothing in the community. I take part in everything. I do prison ministry. I do community service in,
Wow.
in the church. I was recognized by community service about a couple of weeks ago. I do women's ministry. I do everything. I'm also the acting president of the Diabetes Association, because that's very important.
Yes.
I tell people that with diabetes, right? When you have diabetes, your immune system, it weakens. And that is why, I don't know if you know this, that is why a lot of persons who are diabetic eventually gets cancer too. And I am one of those persons.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow,
Did not know that.
that's awesome to share.
Well, guys, thank you, Gloria Fahie, for coming from the BVI Cancer Society.
Thank you, thank you,
We're
thank
here
you.
with Pulse VI, Caribbean Station,
Yeah.
90.9 FM. I just want to let you guys know that we have live cricket on 90.9 FM, Caribbean Superstation, West Indies versus Sri Lanka, tomorrow from 10 a.m. on the 6th, what is it, 6th of June.
6th
Sorry,
of
that's
June.
not tomorrow.
6th
of June, West Indies versus Sri Lanka, 10 a.m. We could also listen live on cbnvirginislands.com.
Right, and
right.
I think they'll be following like for a couple weeks after. So
Yes.
we'll announce it as it comes up, but the first one is June 6th.
Yes, live cricket, 90.9 FM.
All right.
You can
So
catch
thank you
Pulse
all for
VI.
having me here.
Thank you,
No, we
Gloria.
thank you for coming, and we'll check in again.
Yeah,
We'll check
we
in
will.
again
Most
because this is
definitely.
constant, ongoing. So we
Right.
like to keep update with what's happening. We like to know how this appearance has affected your growth.
Right.
Yeah, and then you check in with us as well.
I
So
will.
that kind of
Please
goes
do.
both
Yes.
ways, yeah.
All right.
So thank you so much, Pulse VI. We were back together today.
Yes, the trio is back. Thank you guys for listening, and you can check us tonight at the Jazz Fest. You will see us in our Pulse VI shirts, or you may not. You might see me and Blake. You might see me and Binta. Who knows? You might see all three of us, all four of us.
Hey, look for
Get
us.
surprised,
But check us
yeah.
out at the Prayer Park tonight at the Jazz Festival.
And thanks for all the support and love. We appreciate it. If
Yes.
you want to advertise with us, please hit us up on all our social media pages. Give us some shout out. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what doesn't work. Someone told me they didn't like how I look in my sweater, so I changed to a jean jacket. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you.
All right, guys. Pulse VI, Caribbean Superstation 90.9 FM. Keep it locked.
We be the heart of the VA. Feel the pulse and you will see why. Where I from, we do it B.I.G. On each other we could rely. Feel the pulse of the VA. Listen close and you will see why. The information will set you free. Stand together, never divide. Pulse VI.